What's up, everyone? I'm here with my MLB Beat the Streak picks for April 5th. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it. The first guy that I am heavily considering, and I'm probably, pretty sure that everybody else is going to be heavily considering him as well, and that's going to be Miguel Cabrera. You can see he's 16 for 45 in the last 5 years against James Shields, but in his entire career, he's actually 24 for 64 against Shields. He's batting .375, 10 doubles, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, so some really nice numbers here. He's slugging almost 700, and over 1,000 OPS. So, as a whole, Miggy, he hits almost every pitcher well, but he definitely feels comfortable facing Shields. I also want to point out here that as a whole against the Chicago White Sox last season, he actually batted .386, and he actually faced the Chicago White Sox almost more than any other team. The only team that he had more at-bats against was the Minnesota Twins last season. So in 70 at-bats, he batted .386. Posted 5 home runs, which is actually, a pretty high number for him against a single team here. So, and slugged over 700 there as well. So, it has some really nice numbers. He's probably going to be a very popular player in daily fantasy as well, with good reason. He doesn't hit quite as well on the road, and he also doesn't hit quite as well during day games, according to his last season stats. So we'll have to see how that goes, moving forward here, because this is another day game for the Tigers and White Sox, back-to-back day games for them. So be interesting to see how that plays out. But I think Miguel Cabrera is still going to be a pretty safe pick moving forward on April 5th. All right, so for the second player that I'm heavily considering is going to be Paul Goldschmidt, and he is going to be the first player on the season that I'm actually going to double up on, in the sense of actually picking him, more than one time in the season so far, at least. Obviously, it's going to happen quite a bit moving forward, but he's the first guy, and I'm pretty much at the point now where it doesn't matter which left-handed pitcher it is. If Paul Goldschmidt is on the other side, I'm probably going to consider him and likely going to pick him, because he just absolutely obliterates left-handed pitching. I talked about it on the original Beat the Streak video that I did. He was facing Madison Bumgarner then. Now he's facing Matt Moore, who he has, pretty good success against, and only 9 at-bats. I'll take it, but, 5 for 9, batting over 500, as you can see there. And versus lefties as a whole, during the 2016 season, he batted over 350. He slugged over 500. Both of those are nearly, if not over 100 points higher than the numbers that you see when he's facing right-handed pitchers. So, he feels very, very comfortable facing left-handed pitchers, and you can see he has a pretty good, not a massive sample size, but an okay amount of at-bats against Moore, so he's somewhat familiar with him, even though he is kind of a new face to the West Coast there. So I like Paul Goldschmidt this, on April 5th, this week, or this day, I should say. So, he's going to be a guy I'm definitely going to be considering moving forward, especially anytime there's a lefty on the hill. All right, so for my sleeper pick, I'm looking at Lorenzo Cain, and much like Paul Goldschmidt, this guy just demolishes left-handed pitching. You can see here he's facing Hector Santiago on the 5th, and he has 18 at-bats. He's had 6 hits, and out of those 6 hits, 4 of them are doubles. He has 5 RBIs. He actually has 20 plate appearances, but he's walked a couple times as well. So, it's definitely nice to know that he's seen what Santiago has when he steps up to the plate. But the biggest reason is that Cain, last season in 2016, in the limited amount of bats he had against left-handed pitching, he actually batted over 100 points higher against lefties than he did righties, had a much higher slugging percentage. His on-base percentage was obviously higher as well, and in tune had a much higher OPS. So just as a whole, he felt much, much more comfortable. And also, he only hit 6 home runs against righties and over 300 at-bats, and only in 89 at-bats against lefties, he hit 3 home runs. So, he has a bit more power against the left-handed pitcher as well, or at least he must be seeing the ball out of the hand a bit better, obviously. So, for me, I think Cain is definitely a guy I'm going to be considering to put in if I want to be a bit different. He's also going to be a guy I'm definitely going to consider in DFS as well. He definitely has some value there, because he also can steal bases and stuff like that. But for Beat the Streak purposes, I definitely think he is a guy that you should take a look at if you want to be a little bit different. All right, so we're getting to the point in the season now where most of the games are probably going to be at night. So, when I do these videos, I'm not going to really be able to do a recap on yesterday's picks right away. So you guys can just kind of see, if they're able to get base knocks or not. Both of these guys lock in at 8:05 tonight. So, just keep that in mind moving forward. But yeah, so thank you for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more of these moving forward. Be sure to like it if you did enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.